I think Naruto and Hunter x Hunter might be the two most requested anime that I've gotten since starting this Geekdom 101 channel, because even though I love Dragon Ball and Yu Yu Hakusho and Ranma, there's a lot of anime I never got to see, and folks are always sending me recommendations. Well, I would say beyond Naruto and Hunter x Hunter, My Hero Academia is the one that I've gotten so many people. I mean, I can't even tell you how many people have wanted me to talk about this show. And finally, I got to watch My Hero Academia episodes 1 through 3. Finally got to watch them recently on Verve, vrv.co/geekdom gets you 30 free days of Verve. And I wanted to give you my thoughts, my first impressions on My Hero Academia. And this video is going to be for people who have watched My Hero and want to know my thoughts, but also for those who have not watched My Hero, but you maybe have been watching Dragon Ball, you grew up on shonen anime, and maybe you haven't seen My Hero Academia. You're probably wondering, is it worth my time? Well, first and foremost, I want to say that My Hero Academia is an anime based on a manga written by Kohei Horikoshi. Now, I have not read the manga. I've only seen the first 3 episodes of the anime. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you my review and my initial thoughts on these first 3 episodes, but I just want to say that, people have been telling me that the series gets really, really good right around episode 6. Others have said episode 10. And I just want to say that this is a first impressions video. I have not watched any episodes past episode 3. But even though it excites me that things get better, it's not going to affect my review of the first 3 episodes. Because let's be real here. If somebody watches an anime or any TV show, right, and the first 3 episodes are not at least interesting, then it's one of those things where they might not even keep watching it. You know what I mean? You got to hook the people early on. So the thing about My Hero Academia that I want to discuss has been getting a lot of love, a lot of hype, because the first thing that I immediately noticed about this show is that it's very, very well animated. It's got a tremendous quality to it and a very unique look to it that really is unmistakable. Now, I want to real quick mention that I watched My Hero Academia episodes 1 through 3 dubbed. I have not tried watching it subtitled yet, but I probably will in the future to kind of compare and contrast. But I've heard a lot of good things about the English dub. Of course, the Funimation cast is there. Justin Briner, Chris Sabat, so many people from Funimation, Clifford Chapin are all in this show. And overall, the voice performances, well, we'll get to that. Okay, we're going to get to that. I want to first start off with kind of the visuals here. The anime has a very quirky kind of look, and it's funny because the word quirk is actually something that is something of importance when it comes to the powers of the characters in the My Hero Academia universe, but it has a really unique sort of look to it where it kind of balances itself between being, very crisp and very detailed to being kind of comedic and kind of wacky, and I really like that. And really, the one recent show that I got into couple of years ago that it reminds me of is One Punch Man. So if you like One Punch Man, there's a very good chance you're going to like this show, especially when it comes to the setting of the actual show. So the world of My Hero Academia, the world within the series, is a world where superheroes and supervillains have become such a commonality to the general public that seeing a battle in the streets between 2 superpowered metahumans is pretty much an everyday thing. The world, unlike a lot of other properties, fictional, and a lot of other shows, the world does not even know there are superheroes. It's very covert, it's covered up, or maybe they have an idea and they really don't know for sure the details. In this world, the superheroes are referred to as superheroes and the villains are referred to as villains, pretty much, in a very meta way. You could be walking down the street, you could be buying groceries, and a fight will break out in the streets between 2 superpowered, warriors or whatever, and you'll just run away and be scared, but you won't be surprised by it. That element of, oh my God, what's going on, is not there. It's like an everyday thing. That's the world that was created in My Hero Academia, which is very similar to that of One Punch Man. One Punch Man has a very similar thing, except that One Punch Man is played up much more for laughs. In many ways, One Punch Man could be seen as a parody to My Hero, even though I think both are... One Punch Man parodies older stuff, it seems more, but you could see it as that if you watch them in a different order, because there are a lot of similarities. You actually have a school that you learn how to become a superhero, just like in One Punch Man. You know, it's the same kind of principles here. And it makes for a very different type of world because getting reactions from people, even though people still, you know, react because they don't want to die, it's just like become common practice. And it really makes you wonder what it would be like to live in a world where you have a lot of people that have powers. Because a lot of people have powers in this fictional world. And the main character is named Izuku Midoriya. And his whole character is that he always wanted to be a superhero. He's always, since he was a little kid, him and his mom living together, he has worshipped this very famous superhero who is the most famous superhero pretty much in this world, named All Might. And he pretty much pedestals this guy and puts him over as being like his idol. And, you know, Izuku wants to be just like him. And it's pretty funny because early on, the first 5 minutes of the first episode, they pretty much tell you that Izuku is a fanboy. And that made me laugh so much because it sort of relates to how we treat our heroes, fictional and real, in the real world. I find that very, very interesting. That being said, though, All Might's character is sort of like a, you know, he really is sort of like a classic, I guess, golden age superhero, but also sort of a parody of himself in a sense. You know, he's like Mr. Satan, but he actually has credibility and he actually is tough. And it's very interesting because right early in the episodes, episode 2, in fact, Izuku finds out that All Might has a big, deep, dark secret that he's been hiding from everybody, which I think is pretty interesting because it's so interesting to me that they did this because the first episode puts over All Might as this unbeatable hero. Then the second episode, they quickly, they don't even waste any time. They could have kept this going for a few episodes, and they didn't. They quickly tell you that there is more to this guy than meets the eye. But early on in the series, you know, by even episode 3, All Might and Izuku do develop a friendship. They actually, you know, and it's crazy because Izuku has worshipped this dude for, you know, his whole life, and now he's actually like becoming a friend, and he wants to be, you know, close to him. And All Might kind of develops a, you know, an attachment to the kid. You know, he likes the kid. And the thing you have to understand is that Izuku does not have a quirk. That is to say, he does not have a superpower, but he still wants to be a superhero despite that, which to me is kind of a very powerful message that they're sending in this show about achieving your dreams and chasing your aspirations in spite of what difficulties may stop you. Without going into spoilers, Chris Sabat does a great job as All Might. I love his whole superhero tone, super heroic tone, and then when he's not super heroic, he sounds like Chris Sabat. You know, you could recognize his voice, but of course he's done so many anime that, you know, if you're an anime person, you've seen him do so many things, you can pick up on his voice pretty quickly. But one thing I will say about the series is that I found it a bit too quick. Even though I get they want to get the story going, I did find it a little weird that, you know, Izuku and All Might become friends at a very fast pace, maybe a little too fast for me. I thought it was kind of weird that he would befriend him so quickly, and maybe there's going to be an answer as to why he did or he didn't. But it's interesting because, you know, Izuku does show that he has bravery and courage, so that does play a factor into all of this, but it's also one of those things where it just seems like it was not rushed, but I'm just surprised as to how fast that relationship was established. Now, that being said, I enjoy their relationship. I like the teacher-student aspect of All Might and Izuku, and I like how they, you know, they are creating this bond, you know, and Izuku's actually going to get his dreams fulfilled, or at least that appears to be the case. I mean, we'll see. Aesthetically speaking, the show looks great. It sounds tremendous. This dub is so good because I don't know who sound engineered it, but everything sounds in place. It sounds good. The sound effects are not too loud compared to the music, compared to the voices. A lot of dubs have problems with that. This one didn't. I thought the story was interesting, and I think the idea of having a show where there are superheroes everywhere, you know, it's one of those things where it's easy for people to gravitate to it, especially nowadays with the superhero craze being such a big thing out in Hollywood. You know, if you like superheroes, the show gives you what you want right off the hop. You know, there's not really much of an origin story for All Might, even though we do find out about his backstory at some point. But they do tell you, you know, enough information to where you understand the world. You're told early on, you understand the parameters of the world, the rules of the world, you know, as far as fiction goes. and it's an easy world to dive into. It's very easy to dive into this anime. It's an easy pickup. And then again, I'm being told that it gets even better as it progresses, which is always a good thing. And I did like how in the early episodes, they just focused primarily on All Might and on his relationship with Izuku. Like, you don't... They introduce other characters here and there, like Katsuki, Bakugo, the bully, and there's different characters they introduce, but really the story's about them. And obviously they show Izuku's mom too, which I think has a really interesting story with Izuku, but it stays about them. And I'm sure that as the series progresses, they're going to introduce more characters like every anime does, but right now it's very, very intimate. And I like that because I feel like, and remember, I haven't seen anything past this, I feel like this relationship between All Might and Izuku, I feel like is going to develop. I think it's going to be a big deal and the centerpiece of the My Hero Academia story. So I'm probably going to go ahead and keep watching the show because I want to at least get to the part that everybody says gets good, because a lot of people like the show and it really is the easiest one to get into. Doesn't have too many episodes yet, so it's pretty manageable. Some have asked me to try out One Piece, which I kind of want to one day, but there's just so many episodes that it's overwhelming. So I figure My Hero, which is only at about, almost 50 episodes right now, 3 seasons, shouldn't be too hard. Anyways, yes, I do give My Hero Academia a thumbs up. I'm going to go ahead and watch the remaining episodes. Well, I'm going to try and watch the remaining episodes if I can make time, which I should be able to make time to watch at least 3 or 4, every few days. And I'll probably come back with updated thoughts on that in the future. Remember to check out vrv.co/geekdom so you can sign up for 30 free days and watch My Hero dubbed and subbed. And I will be watching some of the episodes subbed as well as dubbed. But overall, thumbs up. Really fun show. Check it out. And hey, let me know in the comments, do you like My Hero Academia? And if you haven't tried it yet, try it. Come back and comment. Let me know what you think. Looking forward to hearing your thoughts. Talk to you all very, very soon. Take care of yourself and each other.